All right, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Igho, and I'll be reacting to this clip that I saw. Um, it's from the Crucible. Um, it's a channel by Andrew Wilson, and he was debating Lauren Chen. All right, I don't really know much about Lauren Chen, but I know I just recently, found out about Andrew Wilson, and I love the way he debates, the blood sport debater. So I found this clip and I just thought it was something we could just look at together. And whatever you guys think about it, it's about the red pill and fresh and fit. I follow the Fresh and Fit podcast. I follow Andrew Wilson. Please go subscribe to their channels. They're really good for men. I really think so. But yeah, let's look at this together and just see what you guys think. Leave any comments and I'll go over it and we can talk about it. All right, here we go.
Okay, so let's talk about what the red pill is and what I view as the problems with red pill. So I view the red pill as kind of an offshoot or something that developed from maybe earlier MGTOW or manosphere types. So a lot of the complaints center around inequality before the courts and family law specifically benefiting women. I don't disagree there, but you mentioned yourself that they can be degenerate. And when I look at someone like the Fresh and Fit guys who do talk about, like, they encourage promiscuity among men, that's not something that I support.
Yeah, but again,
Okay, she mentioned Fresh and Fit, about degeneracy and all of that. Um, I mean, I would agree that, some advice that they give might not be best for everyone, but they have really helped a lot of men, improve their lives, you know, health, wellness, training, all of that, going to the gym, growing your money. So, I mean, you're not all just gonna overlook them because of that one aspect of it, but just let's listen to what Andrew Wilson said. I love how he addressed this, and I think going forward, this is how I'm gonna, talk about it with anyone that wants to debate me on this topic. He addressed it perfectly.
this is a detailed problem with your worldview. So let me dive right into this as well. These are secularists, and these secularist men are trying to help secularist men. The Christians are supposed to be coming in with solutions to these issues, and what happens is, like you, they have actual contradictions inside of their worldview. So these guys don't want to listen to them. What you guys say is, "Oh, hey, just roll the dice, and hopefully you'll get lucky, and maybe you won't marry one of these horrible women." What is the actual Christian prescription? So then, tell me, Lauren, what is the actual Christian prescription to hypergamy in society from women and mates?
All right, that's a really good question that he asked her. I want to hear what she has to say about it, but that is a really good question. Let's keep going.
Selection. What is the actual solution that you have from a Christian ethic that you can give these guys that's better than what Fresh and Fit gives them?
I don't have a problem with hypergamy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's not my question. My question is, if you believe in monogamy because you're a Christian, but women are not acting in a monogamous way inside society, which they're not, what is the prescription that you're going to give to men? There's not enough women to go around who are virtuous for the virtuous men. What prescription are you going to give to the secularists? Do you even have one? You don't have one, right?
Well, no, I think the solution is to do things like change family court, like absolutely change the law surrounding divorce. I think a lot of men, even if they are secularists, would feel better going into a marriage if they didn't think that there was such a good chance that they absolutely lose everything in the divorce. And I also think that you say that there's not enough good women to go around. I think that's true. And in my video talking about the women and the right, I believe a lot of this stems from a lack of leadership from men in the church. I think there should be a lot of churches, they prioritize gynocentrism, female sensibilities over actual male leadership. And I think that's a problem. And I think if we were to let the
This
church
doesn't answer the
in
question.
that way,
What is the actual prescription that you can give to men right now who are facing down the barrel of marriage, right? Where you have a state contract in a secular in a secular way. These guys are speaking to secular men. You're the Christian who's trying to convert them. What's the actual prescription that you're going to give these guys when it comes to marriage? What is it, Lauren?
Well, I think you pointed out that any prescription when it comes to marriage, if you're talking to a secularist, should be to follow Christ, because anything less than that is not a marriage.
Oh, and they go, yeah, but I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to, have sex with a bunch of hot chicks and then never tie myself down with the state. That makes a lot more sense. Can you actually tell me why that's illogical from a secular progressive state? I can't actually think of how it's illogical for a man who's a secularist to say, I don't want to get married in the current sphere. The women are not virtuous. And instead, I'm just going to go out and I'm going to have tons and tons of sex. And that's it. Why is that actually problematic from that stance? Doesn't it seem like it's good advice for fresh and...
If your problem with women is that too many of them have slept around, etc., then I don't think you need to be...
Again, she's not answering the question directly. This is always my problem, If you have something to add, something different, you can do that. But answer the question first, okay? Because when you don't, you're coming with ill intent, It's a bad faith argument if you're just going to skip the question that someone asked you and just go straight to whatever you think, and not answering the question. But let's keep going.
A Christian to recognize that by continuing to sleep with these women, you are exacerbating the problem. Unless
that would be contrary to hypergamy. Hypergamy is actually stating the opposite within the red pill, within the red pill thought process. They're actually stating the opposite, that most men cannot sleep with X amount of women. Most of them cannot. Most women can sleep with whatever guy they want. Most guys cannot sleep with whatever woman they want. So it would actually be the opposite within their sphere. So they're telling men, actually, you're probably not going to be able to do this thing. However, here's self-improvement you can do, which would improve your chances of mate selection and things like this. From a secular standpoint, how in the world could they possibly be wrong? What are you offering? This is the question. What are you offering from the Christian church, from the Christian perspective, to combat these ideas, Lauren? What are you actually showing them?
Well, once more, you talk about the fact that, well, they're offering self-improvement so that men can improve their chances for mate selection. I will maintain, if you are a man who believes that promiscuity amongst women, sleeping with men who they are not married to, is a problem, you cannot engage in that same behavior while complaining about the problem. You are exacerbating the problem.
Yeah, but most of those men are not exacerbating the problem. This is not a male problem.
I think me and him were just thinking about the same thing right now. This is not a male problem. It's just a very few select men that can do this. So when you put it on all men, like the what 93% that cannot do it, they're just gonna fall under whatever percentage, 7% maybe, that is doing it. Come on now, and my numbers are not right. I'm just guessing here, but I mean, you can't do that. It's the same argument with the patriarchy, but I mean, we can get into that some other time.
Problem. This would be a woman problem when it comes to hypergamy. If most of the women are sleeping with a select few men, how's that a man's issue? That would be a woman's issue. And again, you still have not answered the question from the church, from the Christian perspective. What would you do to solve that?
Well, I think what we need to do to solve that is, when it comes to things like, sex outside of wedlock, as a church, we have fault. Like, the Christian church has failed in enforcing those moral standards. I mean, and it's true. How many, if you think about like church singles groups, or even just general services, how many of them talk about something like sex within marriage specifically? It's not a popular concept. It's not something that I think a lot of church leaders, quote, think as a winning topic. But because of that, even amongst people within the church, like, that's a problem.
Okay. Well, here, I'll give you this solution, because that's a non-solution. That's just literally prattle. You didn't say anything. Exactly. Here's the actual solution.
I'll let you continue. But
go ahead.
What I've said there is that the church should absolutely be pushing to enforce those moral standards, preaching those moral standards.
Which church?
Christian churches. Like the church is the body of Christ.
Yeah, but the problem is that within Protestantism, you have so many different denominations, so many of them which embrace feminism, LGBTQ, this type of thing. They have no unified message. Only the traditional churches, Orthodoxy and Catholicism, do. That's it. That's why the Muslims have become so popular where they're at when they're pushing traditional values. That's the reason why. So I can tell.
See, I agree with that. Like, coming to this country, I became friends with a lot of Muslims, and I mean, those guys are just different, man. Like, they are ready to die for their religion, which I think is how the religion should be. I mean, you cannot be out there in public disrespecting any Muslim uh ideas, ideology, religious stuff at all. But you see people like like you see women putting on crosses and doing, degenerate stuff. Like, I mean, and we just let it go. And there's something Andrew Wilson always says, Christianity now, they think we're like, the peaceful religion, where no, that's not how it's always been. Okay, we stand for the truth and what's right, and we don't care who we have to go through to get to that truth. Okay, so yeah, that's just what I think. But let's keep going.
Tell you how you can actually make a lifeline to these guys if you actually want to bring them over to your side. If you really want to understand how you can fix this problem, you fix the problem with a move to patriarchy. That's the thing red pillars will embrace, a move to patriarchal systems. That's what Christianity can offer to the secularists, which bring them over to our side, a move to patriarchy. Because absent patriarchy, what has happened?
Churches need to embrace that.
Yeah, but they have no ecclesiastical authority. Because there's no ecclesiology, they can't do it. Protestant churches can't do it. They don't have the necessary ecclesiology in order to move into a patriarchal system. They don't have any reference for marriage. They don't have any laws or bylaws regarding marriage. They have no laws or bylaws regarding anything, whereas the traditional churches do have that ecclesiastical authority. That's why the traditional Abrahamic religions do so well, and why Protestantism does not do so well. And so hang on, I'm almost done. When you're making the advocation for this,
I'm gonna let her, rebuttal for a little bit, and then I'll just end the video there because it's going on pretty long. But I really enjoyed this debate. It just gave us like a different perspective, something we don't usually think about. When we're talking about this topic. The way he approached it was perfect. So I just thought, I could share this with everyone.
The reason that you have a pro-feminist stance without even knowing it is because if you want to solve the problem on the red pill side and the Christ pill side, the one unifier that you have is a patriarchy, patriarchal systems. They will agree with that, and you can move them out of that. But just telling them, oh no, just be monogamous, that doesn't do anything for them, because who are the women left? They get the leftovers to be monogamous with. That's what they get.
All right, well, I mean, when it comes to things like divorce within the Catholic Church, at least if we're going with nominal Catholics, it is...
Again, she's not answering the question, but,
it is still high, unfortunately.
Depends on the country. That's one. Yeah. And there's influencers which happen inside of Western nations, especially due to feminism. In Orthodoxy, the rates are very, very, very low. Also, Orthodoxy offers the ecclesiastical authority and the requisite to get married outside of the state. It's not a requirement because these are sacraments. These are messages which you can give to actual red pillars to move them over to Christ. What you can't tell them to do, though, is, hey, take the big risk and the big gamble because Jesus would really like it if you did. That's insane messaging.
That's not my position, by the way, to take the risk and the gamble, to just roll the dice. I absolutely don't think that's a good idea for men to do. And I think that there are definitely things that you can do that would reduce your likelihood of getting divorced. I don't think you should just roll the dice. Absolutely not.
Well, then what is your...
All right. I'm going to end the video here. If need be, I'll continue from here and, do it a little longer. But yeah, this was a great debate. Like I said, please go subscribe to The Crucible, Andrew Wilson. Really nice guy. I really want to, I like listening to him. I learn a lot from him. I love the way he debates. I'm going to try to learn a lot from him. And, just keep going. Just keep living. All right, guys. Please Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Anything you put on there, I'm gonna read it. If I can, I'll reply. All right, guys, have a nice day.